The healthcare in this country is
We don't use that word on this channel.
And you know what YouTube likes?
Challenges! Hello, my chronically awesome friends. I'm Styna and welcome back to Sick, Tired, and Alone, the YouTube channel about dealing with chronic illness alone, which is only half as depressing as it sounds. I am here with Jonathan Troyer from The Troyer Show.
Hello.
And we are doing a collab today.
Yes, we are.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I am staying, and it's hard to get out of this couch, so I'm staying here.
It really is. We did a collab for his channel earlier.
The link is in the description.
Can you let me do my job?
I'm hoping that it's in there, so I'm just, speaking it out into the ether.
Well, now it might not be. It will be. The link will be in the thing. We did a blindfold drawing challenge on his channel, so I don't know very much that. On this channel, we are going to do a Spoonie trivia thing, because there are no Spoonie challenges on YouTube that I could find, and he is a healthy people, so...
Ish.
We're gonna find out how much he knows about chronic illness and things like that.
Maybe I'll ace this sucker.
If you do, I will be very surprised, because there are things in here that I didn't even know until like last week.
Well, that sounds like a challenge to me.
It is a challenge.
And you know what YouTube likes?
Challenges! So for the sake of giving this a name because of YouTube, we're just gonna call it the Spoonie Trivia Challenge.
Sounds good to me.
Featuring a healthy people.
Hey, that's me.
Alright, so the first question, of course, is what is a Spoonie?
A Spoonie is someone that has a chronic illness of some sort. And it comes from, I don't know.
That was actually going to be my second question, was why are we called Spoonies?
Someone that I rode in the school bus with back in the day told me the reason. So I'm digging back there on that big old school bus full of small children singing I Love This Bar by Toby Keith. And I think it has to do with, this is going to be a guess, here we go, offending people in 3, 2, 1. Maybe it has to do with like spoonfuls of medicine, question mark?
That's an interesting guess. It's wrong, but it's interesting. So it's actually from the woman who created the But You Don't Look Sick blog. She created something called the spoon theory. She was at a cafe one day with one of her friends who was healthy, and she was trying to explain the output of energy.
How much energy you expend throughout the day.
And how it's different for chronically ill people, which is the things that you don't necessarily think about, like brushing your teeth and showering and making food. Those are all things that cost us energy that we could be putting towards something else.
Right.
And she used spoons because they were on the table, and she was like, here, this is how many spoons you have for a day, and everything you do costs at least 1 spoon.
Right.
And so that is where the spoon theory comes from, and why are we called Spoonies?
Okay. Well, I do think about making food every day.
So you will get 1 point, because there were 2 questions, and you did get the first one right.
1 point!
Which I would hope if you were on a Spoonie channel, you would know what a Spoonie is.
Right.
But, some people these days.
Some people.
The next question is, what is the relation between zebras and chronic illnesses?
Well, I know that zebras can never be tamed. That probably doesn't have anything to do with it. Maybe all zebras have some kind of disease? Like I know that basically all koalas have chlamydia.
Lupus originated with zebras.
Oh.
No, that's not it.
Oh. I would have believed that.
Oh, God.
I'm not entirely sure what lupus is, but I do know that Selena Gomez has it.
And seal has lupus.
Yeah.
Seals, zebras,
But zebras are connected to Spoonies because I'm gonna go with the zebras can't be tamed ever.
I do like that explanation, but it's also wrong.
Great.
Medical students are taught, if you hear hoofbeats, think of horses, not zebras. So they're taught to look for the most likely cause of something, the most simple cause of something.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's more prominent in the EDS community, which is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a chronic illness. It's considered a rare chronic illness, but a lot of the rare illnesses are showing to be a lot less rare than people think. People
like
are just
less diagnosed.
Yeah, they're just underdiagnosed, which
Yeah.
is a big problem. So it's a big thing in the EDS community, but applies to all chronic, generally rare illnesses. Like
Okay.
zebra.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that might be something you didn't know because I just learned about it during Gishwiz. And yeah, so we're all zebras if we have rare illnesses, but
And you can't be tamed.
we cannot.
Watch out for those lions, though. They'll eat your face off.
Are lions the healthy people?
I don't know.
Are you a lion?
Nope.
You're not gonna eat my face
I
off?
might be lying right now.
That's a pun! You get an extra point for the pun. So the next question is a multiple choice question.
Ooh! I love me some multiple choice questions.
Which of the following is not the name of a chronic illness?
That's a good question.
Myalgic encephalomyelitis,
Okay.
chronic fatigue syndrome,
Okay.
systemic exertion intolerance disease.
Well, I know that encephala means brain. Has to do with brain stuff. Because I feel like you might have like made up a scientific sounding name to scare me off, like dihydrogen monoxide, I think it is, the H2O. And then the third one, what was that?
Systemic exertion intolerance disease.
I don't think that's a C. I don't think it is.
And you think it's the systemic exertion intolerance
Yeah.
disease? Well, it was a trick question. They're all actually the same illness. So, no points there.
So what's the symptoms of that one?
Chronic fatigue syndrome. It's obviously the most prominent symptom is fatigue, but there's also pain and brain fog and anxiety and depression and, you know, all kinds of shit. That's one of the ones that I have.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Goes along with fibromyalgia a lot. Yeah.
They're buddies.
All right, the next question.
Okay.
Again, a two-parter. On average, how much does it cost for 1 liter of IV saline in a hospital setting?
Cost the patient?
Yes.
Okay.
And it can be a range because
Right.
the answer I found was a range.
Yeah. So, saline is water and salt, basically. I'm gonna guess that is going to be, well, it has to be sterile, so a liter is gonna be anywhere from 50 to 70
Dollars?
dollars.
Is that your answer?
Sure.
A liter of saline administered in a hospital setting is generally between $300 and $700.
Great.
So the second part of that question is, how much does it cost to produce a liter of saline?
Oh, so like what the hospital is
Yeah.
thing? Oh, that's gonna be like $10.
76 cents.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's a fun one.
Huh. That's a pretty good profit margin.
It is.
Healthcare in America.
Oh yeah, specification. This is in America. I don't know
Yeah.
how much it.
The healthcare in this country is
We don't use that word on this channel.
The healthcare in this country is a complete mess.
Universal coverage. Also, fun fact about saline is it's one of the most successful treatments for POTS, which is another thing that I have.
Oh yeah, the salt.
The salt
So,
thing,
yeah.
yeah. $700 freaking dollars a liter. It's not.
So you're assaulting pots.
Boy! Alright, the last question that I have written down. How do you tell by looking at a person whether or not they're chronically ill?
You generally can't. In my experience, you generally can't.
That is a good answer and also correct.
Like in some cases, it can be obvious. I think, right?
In some, yes.
But in most cases, it's really not. Would you say, or like, would you say it's a majority not, or?
It really depends on the illness and the symptoms presented because
Yeah.
no matter the illness, people usually end up having different symptoms with it. Like, I'll be wearing my mask or using a cane or a walker or
Right.
something, and then it's pretty obvious that there is something unhealthy about me, but there's no real way to look at a person
Right.
and say they're sick.
Mm-hmm.
And it usually goes the other way around. People usually look at us and say, they are healthy.
The only time I recommend looking at someone and saying they're sick is if they're in a hospital wrapped up in bandages.
Yes. Or if someone, like, you know, drops to the floor or there's like blood spurting out of their mouth or something and they
And
need
you're-
medical assistance, feel free to shout, they are sick.
Unless you're on the set of a film, or else that could just be special effects.
This is true. But what if it's real and then someone dies?
Well, then that's the shot to keep in the movie. For realism.
So let's say one more question.
Yeah.
What is the definition of a chronic illness?
To me, chronic means like it unending / it's hard / impossible to stop or cure. So chronic illness would be one that will be affecting the person for the rest of their lives, or at least for decades, in my eyes at least. I don't know.
Fun fact, I did actually define chronic illness in one of my earlier videos, so now we know that you don't watch my videos.
But I do!
The technical definition is it lasts at least 3 months.
Okay.
But in the chronic illness community, it's usually unlikely to be cured.
Right.
But some of them do have cures.
Mhm.
Like there are treatments for Lyme disease, and then the Lyme disease can end up, I think it's actually in remission that it goes into.
Right. Are there chronic diseases where they like last for like a term? Like
There are some. I don't know if it's so much a set amount of time, but it's like,
Yeah.
you know, they'll be symptomatic for a while.
Right.
And then after a certain amount of time, or maybe after a certain amount of treatment, they'll be asymptomatic. And they still have the condition, and it can come back at any time.
Mhm.
But yeah, with most chronic illnesses, there are waxing and waning periods,
Right.
where symptoms are either more or less noticeable.
This was fun.
This was fun.
I learned some stuff.
You learned
I
something.
sounded like a complete I got most of them wrong, but
You got a few of them right, though.
yeah.
And you tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you know things.
I do know things.
Yeah. And maybe you know some things that you didn't know, whether or not you are sick.
Yeah.
Or not.
And if you want to know things not related to chronic illness, but weird news stories about people doing dumb stuff that don't really affect your life, but you can just laugh at them, or laugh at the weirdness thereof, or the jokes that I make, you can find it on my channel.
And it'll be linked in description below.
Yes.
If you would like to see more videos like this, and also videos not like this, please consider checking out my Patreon page. Feel free to follow me on all the things. They'll be over top of Jan. Thank you for watching, my chronically awesome friends. I will see you all next time, but until then and always, take care. I'm here with Jonathan Troyer.
Hello. Sorry.
And we're doing a collab today.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, I am not looking at the camera.
No.
Fun fact, I did actually define chronic illness in one of my earlier videos, so now we know that you don't watch my videos.
But I do. I watch all of them.
That's okay, I don't
on
watch yours
YouTube
either.
Red, so you
Whoa.
get red money.
Holy shit. Feel free to follow me on... I'm sitting in a different place now, I don't remember which way to point. All the things.
I mean, I am a little healthy, but I just haven't had any tests done to me in a long time, so I could have cancer. I don't know.
Isn't it like, statistically everyone has some cancer cells in them?
I mean, if you've ever even seen a screenshot of League of Legends, you have some cancer. You said the second question.
Did I say the second question?
Yeah.
The next question. I'm gonna redo the intro real quick
Okay,
because
yeah.
I was not looking at the camera because that's fucking distracting and it's more in front of us.
I know.
That's the problem, is the camera's not in front of us.
Yep.
Alright. Okay. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Alright. So the first question, let me get situated here first.
Oh man. Bless me, Father, for she has sinned.